All right, so how would you like to take a little virtual trip to Spain today?
We're going to learn some Spanish along the way. Imagine, by the end of this deep dive, you'll be able to navigate a Spanish home like a local. We won't be fluent, but we'll know some key terms.
Okay.
And to make this extra fun, think of it like you're planning your dream Spanish vacation home. Okay?
I like it.
As we go through each room, you can start furnishing it with these Spanish words that we're going to learn. So our source material today is this fun YouTube video. It's by Jaime, a Spanish teacher. He's super engaging and enthusiastic, which makes learning really fun.
I've seen him. He's great.
He basically takes you on a room-by-room tour. So we're going to kind of follow along and pick up some keywords and maybe even daydream about owning our own little Spanish casa.
Ooh, I love that.
At the end, Jaime even has a challenge for you. Use one of the new words in a sentence.
Oh, good.
So you ready to get started?
I'm ready. Let's go. Okay, so we are going to start in the dormitorio, which is the bedroom. Jaime really smartly ties it to the verb to sleep, which is a good way to remember it, right?
It is, yeah. Makes sense.
Now, here's a fun fact. You might hear Spaniards use the word cuarto instead of dormitorio. It's like saying room instead of bedroom.
Right.
So what do you think about that?
Well, it's fascinating, right? How languages just simplify things. It happens in so many languages. Like even in English, we'll say fridge instead of refrigerator.
Yeah.
It's all about how people, they adapt their language for everyday use.
Exactly. Okay, so let's start furnishing our dream dormitorio. First off, you'll need a comfy cama, which is the bed. And of course, no bed is complete without a fluffy almohada, the pillow. Then right next to your bed, you'll have a mesita de noche, a charming little nightstand. That eat-head ending is interesting. It's not just making something smaller, is it?
You've got a sharp eye for detail there. It actually it's like a nuance, It can make something sound cuter, more endearing, almost like you're adding a term of affection.
Okay.
In some languages, it can even be something that denotes that it's feminine.
Oh, wow. That's really interesting. I never thought about it like that before. Okay, back to our dormitorio. One thing that really caught my eye was the guardaropa. It literally translates to clothing guarding room, which I love. Especially the built-in wardrobe.
Yeah.
Jaime shows off his own guardaropa in the video, which is great.
Well, that's a great detail to point out, I think. The guardaropa, it makes me think about, how home design has changed over time. Built-in storage used to be so common. And now, we have closets, dressers, all these separate pieces. It's like our relationship with our belongings has become, less, I don't know, less integrated into the structure of our homes, I guess.
That's a really interesting way to think about it. Okay, so are you ready to move on to the next room?
Let's do it.
Now that we've kind of explored the dormitorio, let's freshen up in the bathroom. Here's a quick rundown of some essential baño vocab. Espejo for the mirror, bañera for the bathtub, ducha for the shower, lavabo for the sink.
Yeah.
Pretty simple, right?
Yeah.
But here's where it gets fun. The shower head is called an alcachofa.
Ah.
Now, guess what that word also means?
Oh, I think I remember this. Is it artichoke?
Yes, an artichoke.
Yes.
Jaime shows a picture so you can see the resemblance, and it is quite striking.
That's hilarious. I remember when I first learned that, and I couldn't stop picturing someone, showering with an artichoke. It's amazing how languages use that vivid imagery to name things, isn't it? It's a great memory trick.
Yeah, totally. Speaking of things that might stick in your memory, the Spanish baño often has a bidet.
Yeah.
It's something you might not see in every culture, but it's basically a fixture used for personal hygiene down there.
Right.
Jaime kind of awkwardly skirts around it in the video. But hey, it's all part of exploring another culture, right?
Exactly, yeah. It's true. What's considered normal varies so much from place to place. I mean, even within, the United States, there are things that people do in one part of the country that, are just not done in another part of the country.
Truly.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's quickly step into El Salon, which is the living room, and La Cocina, the kitchen. We'll kind of breeze through these since you can always go back and watch Jaime's video for a deeper dive on each. So in the salon, you might find a comfy sofa, which is a sofa. And of course, no living room is complete without a television. Moving on to La Cocina, we've got the frigorifico, better known as the refrigerator. But here's a fun little tip. You can shorten it to frigo, just like we might say fridge.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, that's a perfect illustration of how language evolves, isn't it? I mean, we We shorten words in practically every language. Like, think about, how we say TV instead of television or lab instead of laboratory. It's natural. It's how we use language, how it changes.
Exactly. All right, so are you ready for a whirlwind tour of some other parts of the house?
Hit me.
Think fast. Garage, bourgeois, bourdia, attic,
Mhm.
terrazza, terrace, sotano, basement.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Those are good. Did you catch which one of those has that silent H?
Yeah.
That always trips me up.
Right. Spanish can be tricky like that, but even if you don't remember every single word, the point is to have fun exploring a new language, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. And it's impressive how many words you've picked up already. It's like you've started furnishing your dream Spanish vacation home.
Speaking of which, imagine stepping out onto your terrace at the terrace. Can you just picture yourself sipping your coffee there, enjoying that Spanish sunshine?
Oh, I can practically feel the warmth. And if it gets too hot, you can always retreat to your sotana, the basement, to cool down.
Right. Or maybe head up to your buardia, the attic, and find some, like, old treasures, you know?
That's right.
Now, don't forget, Jaime has a challenge for you. He wants you to pick one new Spanish word from our deep dive today and use it in a sentence.
I love it. This is where you can really make it your own. Get creative. You could write a funny caption for a social media post, try to explain the word to a friend, or even just practice saying it out loud a few times.
Exactly. And hey, if you're feeling brave, share your sentence with us in the comments. We'd love to see what you come up with.
Oh, yeah. That'd be great. It's fascinating to me how learning the words for things in another language can actually change how you see those things in your own life. Have you ever noticed that?
Hmm. That's a really good point. Like, now that I know alcachofa means both artichoke and showerhead,
Yeah.
I can't help but see the resemblance.
Right. Like you've unlocked like a new layer of meaning. And it's not just, the visual similarities either. Learning a new language, I think, can make you more aware of like different cultural perspectives, different ways of thinking about the world.
Totally. It's like you're seeing the world through a new lens, even if it's, just your own house. Like, you know, now that I know about the garderoba, I find myself thinking about how people, used to store their clothes differently. And it makes me like appreciate the history and evolution of home design, in a new way.
Absolutely. It's like you're not just learning vocabulary, you're learning like a whole new way of thinking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so even though this was just a quick deep dive into Spanish home vocabulary, it's amazing how much we uncovered.
Right.
It just goes to show you, how even a little bit of language learning can open up new worlds.
Absolutely. And remember, language learning is a journey, not a destination. There's always more to explore, more to discover.
Well said. So if you're feeling inspired, why not take this as a starting point and see where it leads you? You could, check out more of Jaime's videos, try a language learning app, or even just start paying attention to Spanish words that you encounter in your everyday life.
The possibilities are endless. And the more you learn, the more you realize how interconnected languages and cultures are really. It's a beautiful thing.
So whether you're a seasoned language learner or just starting out, keep that curiosity alive. You never know what amazing discoveries await you on your language learning journey.
And remember, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Mistakes are part of the learning process. Embrace the challenge, have fun with it, and most importantly, keep exploring.
I love that. Embrace the challenge, have fun, and keep exploring. What a great motto for any language learner. And speaking of exploring, do you remember that frigorifico in our Spanish kitchen?
Of course, the mighty
Yeah.
frigorifico. I wonder what delicious Spanish treats we might find in there.
Well, I'm picturing all sorts of tasty tapas, refreshing sangria, and maybe even some delicious paella ingredients.
Now you're making me hungry. It's amazing how just a few words can transport you to another place, isn't it?
It really is. And you know what I love about Jaime's video? Even though we kind of skimmed over some rooms, like, the kitchen and living room, you can always go back and rewatch it. You can get a deeper dive into those spaces.
Yeah, absolutely. You can really tailor the learning experience to your own interests. If you're fascinated by kitchens, you can spend more time there. If you're more intrigued by bedrooms, you can focus on that. It's all about making the learning process your own.
Exactly. And hey, maybe this will inspire you to check out other videos on Jaime's channel or even explore other, Spanish learning resources. I mean, there's a whole world of language learning out there just waiting to be discovered.
You got that right. And the more you learn, the more you realize how connected languages and cultures truly are. It's like each language offers like a unique window into a different way of seeing the world.
Well said. So to all our listeners out there, whether you're seasoned language learners or just starting out, keep that curiosity burning bright. You never know what amazing discoveries await you on your language learning journey. Thanks for joining us on this Spanish home adventure. It's been a blast exploring with you.
Until next time, keep those ears open, those minds curious, and keep practicing those Spanish words. Hasta luego.
Adios. And don't forget to keep those alcachofas sparkling clean. Well, I'm picturing all sorts of, tasty tapas, refreshing sangria, and maybe even some delicious paella ingredients.
Now you're making me hungry. It's amazing how just a few words can transport you to another place, isn't it?
It really is. And you know what I love about Jaime's video? Even though we kind of skimmed over some rooms like, the kitchen and living room, you could always go back and rewatch it. You can get a deeper dive into those spaces.
Yeah, absolutely. You can really tailor the learning experience to your own interests. If you're fascinated by kitchens, you can spend more time there. If you're more intrigued by bedrooms, you can focus on that. It's all about making the learning process your own.
Exactly. And hey, maybe this will inspire you to check out other videos on Jaime's channel or even explore other, Spanish learning resources. I mean, there's a whole world of language learning out there just waiting to be discovered.
You got that right. And the more you learn, the more you realize how connected languages and cultures truly are. It's like each language offers like a unique window into a different way of seeing the world.
Well said. So to all our listeners out there, whether you're seasoned language learners or just starting out, keep that curiosity burning bright. You never know what amazing discoveries await you on your language learning journey. Thanks for joining us on this Spanish home adventure. It's been a blast exploring with you.
Until next time, keep those ears open, those minds curious, and keep practicing those Spanish words. Hasta luego.
Adios. And don't forget to keep those alcachofas sparkling clean.